Did your parents read to you as a child? Will you read to your children someday? It is said to be that reading to children helps prepare them for school. But what does it really do? Does it help them to be more smart or to become more literate? Reading with children these days is becoming less and less common. Parents are so busy that they can't even find time to set aside to read a short story with their child. Reading is a great thing because it helps the children have more knowledge on subjects they already know and also introduces them to new ideas. Reading creates a broader vocabulary along with better comprehension. Emily Buchwald says it best in her quote, "Children become readers on the laps of their parents." Reading with children aids in their development. I will explain this through my 3 main points. 1. Reading starts with parents. 2. Reading creates stronger relationships. And 3. Reading empowers academic excellence. When a child is born, they cannot physically read to themselves. First, reading starts with parents. According to the study done by the National Scientific Council on the Developing Child, reading with young children helps them to develop their language and brain. According to the study, nearly half the women who participated admitted to reading to their children at just 14 months. The rest of the mothers said they started soon after. The study showed that by the age of 3, the mothers who had put time and effort into reading to their children had kids who scored very high cognitive scores compared to the mothers who didn't read to their child. So if you want your child to succeed, show them how very important it is to read. Growing up, I was around reading. My mom read novels and my dad read me bedtime stories. If I would have grown up in a home where my parents didn't read, I probably would have no interest in it and probably would have hated it. But since I grew up with parents who read, I fell in love with it and became a great reader, and I can thank my parents for that. Hopefully, if you begin to read to your children, you will have the same outcome. I feel as though in order to put your child on the right route, you should pick up a book and read to them. Why not give it a try? Reading starts with parents. Dr. Seuss once said, "The more you read, the more you will know. The more you learn, the more places you will go." Second, reading creates stronger relationships. According to author and expert Patrick Groff, when parents read to their children, they create a very strong bond between themselves. He explains that this bond is a period of uninterrupted time that happens on a daily basis. This bond is one of a kind and unlike any other. It is a relationship that the parent and child create that is so strong. When parent and child begin to read together on a daily basis, it will become a hobby that they love to do. Reading creates stronger relationships. If you have been considering ways to be closer to your child, my advice to you is to pick up a book and begin to read, because what do you have to lose? How many of you want your child to succeed in school? I feel like many parents want this, but what can we do about it? Third, reading empowers academic excellence. According to Mem Fox, author of Reading Magic, it is important to read to your child soon after they are born because their brain is only developed 25%. The rest of the brain develops within their first year of life, which is why it is so important to begin reading soon after birth. Reading and talking to your child helps them to boost their language development. When parents start to read and talk with their child at a young age, it helps them with their words, sounds, and letters, and they will have a better understanding that will come naturally. With that being said, when children reach school age, they will have a way better understanding of what is going on in the classroom. According to a study done by the Scientific Council on the Developing Child, most mothers began reading to their child on the 14th month, but other mothers started later. The mothers who began reading to their children at a younger age had much higher language, cognitive, and other scores than the children whose mothers did not read to them. Children who come into the classroom with prior knowledge have a better understanding of what is going on, and they are more likely to comprehend everything in the classroom. If you decide to become a dedicated reader to your child, you are setting them up to be successful. Reading empowers academic excellence. There are so many parents out there who are not reading to their children, but what they don't realize is how many missed opportunities that they are missing by not reading to their children. Make time for reading. Reading is something that we do every day. It's where we get our knowledge. We read newspapers, magazines, articles, and social medias, etc. But what we don't realize is we don't even take a second to think about it because it's our second nature. This is because somewhere along the lines we were taught how to read. I challenge each of you to set aside at least 20 minutes per day to read with your child. I want you to sit back and watch them grow into little readers and see how much their knowledge expands. And then I want you to take a second and look just how much you helped them, because they will be set up for their future. Reading with young children aids their development, and this was demonstrated by my 3 main points. 1. Reading starts with parents. 2. Reading creates stronger relationships. And 3. Reading empowers academic excellence.